Would you believe it? Manchester United playing out a 1-1 stalemate at Craven Cottage against Fulham. That is horrendous. That is unacceptable. That is unbelievable. That is shocking. That is embarrassing. This is Manchester United, for God's sake. Forget all the noise that United fans made against Arsenal, despite losing the game 1-0. Dominated the game against the Gunners. Outplayed Arsenal, but lost 1-0, and they thought, hey, United are back. And we've all said it here. United always seem to play better against the top 6 sides, but it is always against the mid-table clubs and smaller teams that they struggle. And why that is, I have no idea. I would never understand why United would struggle against small teams. 1-1 at Craven Cottage against Fulham. That is not good enough. That is nowhere near top level. That is definitely a shocking result by any means, by United standards. This is not United. This is not the same United we used to know, right? Under Sir Alex Ferguson, you need to gather enough points, as much point as you can, against these small clubs, these mid-table teams, because you're not going to be playing top 6 sides every single game, and that is not acceptable. The performance itself was horrendous. I forget the fact that they had a couple of chances early on in the first half, especially through Marcelo Cunha, who I believe should have had a brace or a hat-trick in the first 15 minutes of the game, hitting the post and pulling off an incredible save from the goalkeeper Ben Leno, who was also outstanding today, by the way. But all round, you look at this Manchester United side and you think, hey, Manchester United are back. They are not back anywhere just yet. Yes, we can see little signs of improvement here and there from how they connect, how they the interchange of passes between the players. You can see that there's little improvement. But overall, you look at this Manchester United, especially in the midfield, that is where all of this headache is coming from. United now, from this game, you can see it is evident that United must sign new midfielders, central midfielders. This is where United desperately need help. How the hierarchy see it, and they see all of this action, and they wouldn't fix it, is way beyond me. These midfielders are not good enough. It's as simple as that. They are simply not good enough. Let's take a look at the captain, Bruno Fernandes, today. Forget the fact that he missed a penalty, which is very uncharacteristic and unusual of him, because usually he dispatches his penalties. But today, he skied one over the bar, and then he will go and blame the referee for bumping into him before he took the penalty. I don't buy it. I don't buy that. Okay? You are a top player with a lot of experience. You shouldn't be put off by anything in the run-up to a penalty. And then he skied the ball over the bar that should have given his side the lead earlier on. That is the captain of the club. He's been linked with a move to Saudi Pro League, and a lot of United fans are now crying out loud, hey, Bruno Fernandes should leave. I totally agree. I think Bruno Fernandes should leave Manchester United at the moment, because when you look at it, I don't see anything he's contributing to this team anymore. I think he's way past it in the Premier League. He's not sharp. He's not speedy. He doesn't have the legs. He can't track his run. Let's forget about the penalty and look at the goal, the Fulham goal, the equalizer. He lost his marker. Bruno Fernandes was the man on Smith Rowe, and then he just strolled on the pitch, allowing Smith Rowe to connect with the ball and score the goal. If he had tracked his run properly, as a proper central midfielder should, perhaps United would have won the game by now. Don't get me wrong. I like Bruno Fernandes. I think he's a top player. He's a fine player, but just not good enough anymore for Manchester United standard. And they should let him go. It's as simple as that. If you don't contribute much to the side, just leave. And that is exactly What Manchester United are currently lacking: a central midfielder who can do a bit of everything in the middle of the park. And you look at these top six sides, all of them have got it. You look at Arsenal, they've got Declan Rice. You look at Manchester City, they've got Rodri. You look at Liverpool, they've got Ryan Gravenberch or Alexis McAllister. You look at Newcastle, they've got Sandro Tonali. These are top central midfielders who can do a bit of everything. They can mark, they are aggressive, they go forward with the ball, running with the ball, they can score, they can do a bit of everything. United lack midfielders who can control games. United lack proper midfielders who are aggressive on the ball, who can track the run of their opponents. And that is where United are struggling. That is where they are going to struggle also this season if they don't address this. They need at least two central midfielders to bring to this team for them to start winning and start challenging for things again. And let's leave Bruno Fernandes and look at the other midfield options that they've got. For example, you look at Casemiro today. What did he do? Nothing. He contributed nothing to that team. Casemiro has lost his legs. He's gotten way over his prime. Nothing to contribute again. And the Premier League is way beyond him. Manuel Ugarte was supposed to be that midfielder who will come and, make the midfield thick for United going forward, linking up play, breaking up play, and being aggressive on players, tracking players run. He's come and he's just been okay. Nothing more than that. Kobe Menu, we don't even see him play because he can't run. He doesn't have the pace or the physicality. And that is why that team is crying out loud for new central midfielders. How they are not addressing this is what I don't understand. So you look at all of these players. There's too many 10s in this team. Bruno Fernandes is supposed to be a 10. So too is Mason Mount, Matheus Cunha. Then who does the dirty work in the team? No one, nobody. So oppositions are just having a field day against Manchester United. That is not good enough. That is atrocious. That is outrageous. That is shocking. That is below par. That is way beneath Manchester United standards. By all means. Yeah. And let's leave the midfield. Let's look at the goalkeepers. The goalkeepers are not good enough. Anta Bayende made a lot of shocking moves today in the game. I'm wondering, who signed all these players? Did they close their eyes before making all these signings? These are nowhere near top level goalkeepers. Why have you opened your eyes and gone ahead to sign an Anta Bayende and is United's number one goalkeeper? How? Ask me, how? Always rushing off his line during set pieces, and he never ends up with the ball. It's always in no man's land. He never punches the ball, never catches the ball, but always rushing out of his line during set pieces. A lot of opponents are going to target that in the course of the season if that is not addressed. And you've got top class goalkeeper in Gigi Donnarumma, who is available for just 35 to 40 million euros. And United are not seriously looking at signing that. Instead, they are looking at another 23-year-old, another second choice. In Samuel Lamen, or what his name is called, from Royal Antwerp in Belgium. These are not United standards. Who is going to sink this into the hierarchy's hearing? These are not United standards. They are not good enough. You are not signing players for Stoke City. No disrespect to them. You are not signing players for Sunderland. No disrespect to them. This is not Bolton Wanderers. This is one of the biggest clubs in world football. And then you go ahead and sign average players and sign below par players for Manchester United. Who does that? When top class players are available, you look at the top six sides, they've all strengthened significantly in the these are teams that finished way ahead of Manchester United. United finished a dismal 15th on the league table last season. And they've only brought in 3 key players this season. And then you look at Arsenal, they've signed about 6 or 7 players. You look at Liverpool, you look at Manchester City, and you expect to bridge the gap and expect Ruben Amorim to do magic, to do some miracle, and just suddenly catch up with them. How? Where does that happen? Nowhere. And what about the striker, Benjamin Sesko? Yeah, I know he hasn't started any game just yet. He's been brought in the second half of the game, but he came on today and he was utterly, completely anonymous. Can't recall how many touches he had in the game. And I said it not just because of this game or the one against Arsenal. I said it at the beginning of this. These are not strikers that will give you 20 league goals consistently in a season. It's not going to happen. United fans, do not raise your hopes high on this Benjamin Sesko as a striker. He's not, mark my words, it's not the striker that will guarantee you 20 plus league goals consistently in a season. It's not going to happen. Yes, I like him, ball control wise, everything, the physicality, he's tall, maybe good in the air and all that. Yeah, great. But perhaps he's that sort of a striker who will link up, who can play alongside another top striker beside him. But him alone as a striker, the focal point for Manchester United, there is no way on earth he's going to give you 20 league goals a season consistently. And then United want to compete with Manchester City, who have got the best striker in world football in Erling Haaland. You look at Liverpool. Yeah, question mark still remains, over Ugo Ekitike, but they're still looking at Alexander Isak. Arsenal have got Victor Gyökeres, who opened his mark yesterday with 2 goals. And then you have Benjamin Sesko. I don't know what is going on at Manchester United. Anyway, you hear that, how do you go splash about 70, 80 million pounds on a striker who only managed 12, 15 league goals in Germany, in Italy? They did the same with Rasmus Højlund. Who does that? When there are finished articles, there are finished striker. They were earlier linked with Victor Osimhen. The deal didn't come through. Why didn't they go for Victor Osimhen, a proven striker who guarantees you goals, who has done it across various leagues, who knows how to win at the top? Instead, they've even spent more than it would have cost them to sign Osimhen, to sign this Benjamin Sesko. And today, he was completely anonymous, nowhere to be found, nowhere to be seen on the field. But like I said, I will cut him some slack because he didn't start the game. United fans are crying out loud now to see him from the start of the game. Let's see how he links up with Matthias Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo. But there's plenty of headache, plenty of worrying signs for this United side. No wonder Ruben Amorim was shaking his head furiously in various moments in that game today. Clearly not happy about a lot of things. Transition-wise, how they track, little exchanges here and there. Going forward, come on, a lot of things are still wrong with this Manchester United side. And definitely, Ruben Amorim, if he was happy with the way they performed against Arsenal, would definitely not be happy with what he saw against Fulham today. No United fans will be happy. As a neutral, I am not happy because that is nowhere near top-class performance. That is not the United we used to know. These players are way below average, most of them. Despite Ruben Amorim trying to improve, trying to coach them. But you can't give what you don't have. There are players who are still there who shouldn't be there. I'm still shocked that how many years since Jose Mourinho, and Luke Shaw is still a regular starter at Manchester United. Imagine just how. Gosh, United fans, I feel way sorry for you guys. I think your sorrow, your doom, Manchester United's sorrow is just getting started. Maybe they will not finish 15th this season, but I see no sign of any improvement in this side whatsoever. Plenty still to do in the transfer market. We have 8 days left. If they can address some of these critical questions, perhaps we can come back and start looking at United on how they've improved and where they will finish at the end of the season. 8 days in a transfer window, left in the transfer window. Can United address these obvious, staggering problems staring them in the face? They need central midfielders. They need top-class goalkeeper. Can they fix this before the transfer window closes on September 1st? And then we'll come back and review what their chances could be in the Premier League this season. Really not happy, guys. This is not the United we used to know. It's your boy Mayor Cares signing out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and comment and like this video. Share it with your friends if you like, content like this. And I'll see you again some other time.